Hey guys, it's Masatonic. I'm bilingual Harukist. 皆さん、こんにちは。バイリンガルハルキストのマサトニックです。Haruki Murakami Book Guide Short Story 44 Cream. In this video, I'd like to talk about Murakami's very strange but interesting story, Cream. Its short story is kind of very Murakami-like strange story or funny story is told. So let's get started. As always, this video consists of 3 parts. First, overview. Second, story. Third, deep reading or reading tips from me. So first, overview. This one is contained in the first person singular. It's a short story collection. It's published 2021 April. So just this year, it's been published in the English market. Actually, in Japan, it's also published just last year. And like I said, it's kind of strange and a little bit philosophical story or some kind of believings of story. So, and it's not long one. Actually, it's quite a short story. It's like another work of which is contained in the first person singular. And I previously talked about the On the Stone Pillow. It's a kind of bit twin. Or very similar works of it's kind of very similar works. So what kind of story? Just take a look at story. At first, the setting is some maybe elderly narrator looking back at his younger days and to much more precise, his 18 years old days. He's just looking back as an old man. And then how old was, it's not clear, it's not described in particular, but maybe, I don't know, kind of quite old, I guess. And then that person had told his younger day story to his younger friend, that settings. And basically a main story had been told in his narratives. So when the narrator is 18 years old, he got an invitation to a piano concert. And that piano concert, pianist is narrator's ex-friend. When much more younger days, narrator learned piano on some kind of piano school. And then in that school, he played with some girl, and she's very beautiful and quite much better a piano player than narrator. And as a practice, when they doing played with piano in 2 players, and in that practice, the narrator is kind of always had a tense and simply doing kind of mistake. And she always complained or irritated about it. And so from that experiences, narrator thought that girl is really disliked narrator or simply hate himself. So it's quite surprised he got the invitation from her. And when she will have a piano concert, and it's quite a surprise. But he's at that time 18 years old, and he had some kind of a curiosity. Maybe he had slightly some kind of a interest in her, I believe. But anyway, on some Sunday, he bought some kind of flower and wearing kind of nice clothes and going to her concert by taking a bus to the top of some mountain, because this settings or stage is maybe Kobe, and then Kobe is Murakami's hometown, and Kobe is a kind of very mountain area. So there are some mountains there, and then in this work also that piano concert stage is located in the top of the kind of top of mountain. So narrator took a bus to the top of the mountain, and after get off the bus and several minutes to walk to that venue, kind of top of the mountain, and he had felt kind of very how to say it's unusual because there are no people around there. It's not like sometime soon the piano concert would be open, and then he finally reached the concert hall, but it's closed and the gate was locked, heavily locked. So he and then it's according to the invitation card, within about 10 minutes concert will be start, but the situation is not like this. Maybe there are no person and no sound that's there. It is nothing to be started within 10 minutes, but still there's no way to do. So he just stand there and wait till the opening time. But of course, when the opening time had come, there nothing had happened. So but still several few minutes he waited there, but in the end he gave up and with kind of very complex or embarrassed emotion, he just leaving that place and then going back to the bus stop. And during that journey, he finds some small park, which it's a really small park, and there some kind of a very small how to say in the arbor is kind of small, how to say arbor, does it tell? Anyway, arbor is there, and he sits there and just think about something. It's what this experiences mean, and he had some kind of a guess. Maybe this is just make fun of him, kind of how to say, just a play trick on him. But he also wonder, can anybody be such an evil? Because it's kind of take a lot of time, because their invitation card has printed and she need to go a post and send it to him. Remember, it's before internet, before smartphone era. So when someone doing this activity, she have to type it and print it and send it by mail. It's quite a lot of time and time. So if she had something in mind, but it's too much trouble she will take. So he simply didn't believe someone becomes so evil and doing such a how to say trivial work only to make fun of him. And then just he kind of think about this kind of thing. And during his thinking, there's some Christianity propaganda car is removing, and that car propaganda or kind of announced that some words from the Bible, and due to his very complicated situation, he slightly tends to he want to believe something very simple and powerful thinking. So, and he thought when that guy really how to say told him directly, maybe he could be a believer of Christianity, that kind of things he think. But when he noticed there's some old woman, it looks about 70, just standing in front of him and sitting in front of him, and the old man said, "Center that has several that has several circle that there are several centers." He just say, and what circle? He kind of embarrassed because he just he thought the old man said very different words, but he said just a circle, that's a several sentences. And the conversation had been started in the hour. And this elderly person is quite how to say, impressive, but also a very strange person. And he asked him, a narrator, can you imagine a circle that has several centers and no circumference? So, and then, of course, a narrator kind of quite shocked, and they can't imagine a circle that has several centers and no circumference. So, but still he can keep on thinking, but finally gave up, and he said, I can tell, but still that old man said, you should not throw, how to say, give up easily. You have to think it more, how to say, more genuinely, and in order to how to say, through that process, making things very difficult, and then such difficult things come through. That activity would be a cream of life, and that is very important, cream of life. So that's cream of life. The cream is via titled cream. Anyway, and then and after that, narrator thinking again, but still didn't get it, and look at him, and when he noticed that old man had disappeared, and that's and finally he gave up and returned to home. And that kind of story, this is a kind of, how to say, story, and this story has been told from much more older days, from narrator to his younger friend. And when that story had been told, of course, the younger friends asked back, what story it mean? But still narrator said, I think this story doesn't have meaning. And then the whole story had been closed. This is a story of cream. It's kind of very funny and strange and a little bit philosophical story. So how should we enjoy it? Sorry, he has typed not circumstance, circumference. Is it right? I'm not sure, but anyway. So my first suggestion is, let's take a bus to mountain at Kobe. Like I said, maybe these stories settings is Kobe, where Murakami himself is a born place. So actually, I did once to been to Kobe and take this bus, and then it's kind of similar situation of the blind widow and sleeping woman. In that short work, a short story, the protagonist and his younger cousin took a bus to the mountain, and then to, how to say, to her cousin's hospital, and then recalling the protagonist younger days story. That kind of setting is quite similar. So in a way, Murakami's some short story, and it's also to some extent reminds a Norwegian Wood as well. So in a way, Murakami's some story is related to Kobe's mountain. So, and you can experience that kind of situation, or at least atmosphere when you take a bus to mountain to Kobe. So if you have opportunity, let's do it. And during that journey, there's things you can do. Let's think about a circle that has several centers with no circumference. Of course, you don't have to go to Kobe and think about these things, but anyway, it's quite difficult question and very Murakami-like, ambiguous, and a little bit philosophical, I think, how to say, questions. A circle that has several centers with no circumference. It's complicated, so it's worth thinking. And also, let's think about cream of life. I think it's unusual, these kind of, how to say, good phrase featuring in Murakami's work, or sometimes featured in some other books. But anyway, the old man mentioned about the cream of life. So it's sometimes it's good to think about what is a cream of life, or a cream of life to you. What this mean to you is sometimes worth thinking, I think. But anyway, to me, it's cream novel. It's how to say, what's more kind of interesting, because the main character, I mean, protagonist, 18 years old, it's quite similar age of the Murakami's reader, because so many works character say he has wind sting, and also a Norwegian, quite similar generation of that late teen days. And also this old man is very much important, especially in this novel. It's about 60 or 70 years old. That's a age of Murakami himself when he writes this story. So there are two ages of 18 and 60 or 70. It's quite younger days Murakami and current days Murakami's age. So in a way, that how to say, their relationship is kind of dialogue with Murakami himself. Maybe I could say. So thinking about something like that is also additional recommendation, or kind of very interesting way to read deeply. Anyway, that's all from me. So thank you for watching, and I hope this video might interest you to read Murakami's this very interesting story. So thank you again, and I would appreciate if you subscribe my channel. So let's see next video. Until then, see you, bye.